everyone, today we are adding real fabric to our sweater. I have decided to add the fabric at this stage because the drape of the fabric will affect the garment length, and I want to reduce the length of my sleeve length and maybe my sweater, and having the real fabric helps me to see how much I really want to reduce. For choosing the fabric, I go to the CLO library and type the knit here because I want to choose from the knit options. You can apply any of these and see which one is better for you, but for our purpose, the French terry fabric is good. But for our purpose, the French terry is good option. I'm choosing the cotton sew knit French terry fabric and drag it to my library. Now that I have it here, I select all my pieces and choose this icon to apply it to my garment. Now if I choose the thick textured fabric, I see it on my avatar, and after simulation it shows the drape and it shows the texture as well. As you see, the texture of this fabric is not similar to our photo. We can apply the knitwear option in the CLO to have similar look to this fabric, but that will slow down the process of pattern alteration, and that's why I don't want to do that in this stage. First I wanna do my alteration and adding the color and the rib, and then I'll apply the knitwear function in CLO. By looking at the image and my garment, I wanna reduce my sleeve length by 2 inches. So first I see it's a bit curvy. I right click on it and delete all curve points. And then right click and offset as pattern outline by 2 inches. Simulate again. Still a bit long, so another ½ inch. And also I'm cutting a cuff from the sleeve length, so should be okay. I also see in my image that the sleeves are a bit puffy, so I want to add to the sleeve hem by 1.5. I right click and choose the change length. Right now it's 10.87, almost 11, so I want to make it 12.5. But I want to do it on both sides so that it's equally divided, the addition. Then I cut the rib from it by offsetting as internal line 2 inches. I cut and sew this line. So this will be my cuff, but I want it smaller because as you see in the image, it's small. I believe the hem opening of a sleeve should be 4.25. So when I double it, it will be 8.5. So if I measure this, is 12.5. I change the length to 8.5. Do it for the other length, the other side. Okay, these are our cuff pieces, and since they are cut and sewn, we don't need to arrange them. They are already arranged. Even if we simulate now, they are sewn correctly. Only because these pieces are small, we need to change particle distance to 5, because you see how they are colliding into the avatar. That's because they need to be 5 for particle distance. In the property editor, go to the simulation properties and change it to 5. Now it's corrected. And I see the puffy effect on my sleeve here as well. Now for the neck. Firstly, I think our neck is a bit tight for this kind of sweater, so I wanna increase it here by 3/4 of an inch and 1/2 inch on the sides. When I do this on the front, I also need to do it on the back. Same amount, 1/2 inch. And for the back, only 1/8, I want to bring it down. And then with the handles, I improve the shape of the neck. You can even match up your shoulder line. And make sure your neckline is smooth at the shoulder seam. Okay, looks good. Now for adding the rib to the sweep, I want to measure my hemline and reduce it a little bit, because when I look at my image, the rib is not very much tighter than the body. So if I reduce my sweep length by 90 to 95%, I believe we have a good length for our rib. When you select half of your back sweep and half of your front with edit pattern tool, you get the sum of 21 in the blue number. You should hold shift for doing that. And with the calculator, you can easily multiply 21 by 95% and divide this. By 100, it gives you 19.95, which will be the width of your rib. With the rectangle tool, you can draw the rectangle with 19.95 and 2 inches for the height. And of course, this is half of our rib. We need to unfold it by right clicking on this line, unfold, and put a notch here so that you know where it is sewn at the side. For now, I give the same fabric we have for the body here. And for sewing it, I would like to sew one line first with the free sewing tool, or M. I want to sew it at the front from this point. It's better to have the rib seam at the side for the knit sweaters. So I sew from here to the front panel, cover it, and then on 3D window I use the superimpose side function. So you see it is sewn at front. For the back, now I can see better where I want to sew from side seam to end. And here is easy, because if you do it all together at once, you won't see which side you're going. Now I can see that I should start sewing from here, otherwise it gets twisted. Okay, now I press simulate and it's sewn good. only the end of this rib need to be sewn together. I do it with the section sewing tool and it gets closed here. Okay, now for the color, I want to measure my half of the neck with the edit pattern tool, holding shift. The blue number is half of my neckline, 8.6. I'll draw a rectangle again with 8.6 as the width, and 4.5 I think is good for the height because it gets folded. Again, I apply the fabric, and again this is half of our color, so we need to unfold it. For putting the notch, this is different. For the knitwear, usually the seam is put on the side seam. So if I want to start sewing this at front, I need to put the notch here when our front neckline is finished. So let's measure our front neckline. In the property editor, you can see it's 10.3 where the front neckline is finished. So I need to remove this point and put the notch at 10.3. And just to double check, 6.9 is our back neck. The line shows 7 and our pattern shows 6.9. We can extend it a little bit just to meet our back neck. Just make sure the notch is where it should be again. I put it again at 10.3. Okay, now it's good. 10.3 here and 7 here. And we can delete this point too, we don't need it. And we can put an internal line between these two lines by holding shift, clicking on them, and distribute internal line. This will be the line that we will fold our collar later. For sewing the collar, just like the rib, I start by sewing at front. With the free sewing tool, I sew from here to here, and then I use the superimpose side function. And then for the back, I sew from here to here and from here to here. Then I simulate. And since I want to fold it, I want to strengthen it and simulate again. Make sure it's sitting straight. And sew the ends together from here to here and here to here. Okay, now I think we can fold it with the folding tool that you can find here. Click on the internal line we have put for the folding and bring the green arrow down like this. Okay. Okay, it's done very nicely. Okay, now we can unstrengthen our color. Okay, now that we have all of our pieces, we can apply the actual knitwear.